Hey everyone, I'm Alex. This is Multiverse Marbles, and I'm going to give you a quick intro to the game. This is my abstract strategy game for 2 to 6 players that plays in 60 to 90 minutes, and I've played it with people 8 and up. The core of this game is that you're not just playing one game, you play a different set of rules every single round. I normally play a best of 7 with people, but you can play shorter games as well. And you want to win 4 out of those 7 rounds. Once you've won 4 rounds, you've got 4 of your marbles off the board. That's it, you win. But for each individual round that you play, you need to know what the rules are. That is super easy because it comes with this deck of cards that is pre-shuffled. And I'm going to draw the top 6 cards, show them to you in a close-up as well. And as we kick off the game, we're going to do exactly what those cards tell us. The first card told me how to set up the board. I put down the marbles for both players. I'm green, you're going to be blue. I put down the goals. And yeah, that's basically it. It took me 30 seconds to set up. Card number 2 always tells us how to win the game. This one says you need to occupy both goals of your color. So I'm green, means if I go to these 2 green goals, I won. That's it. Same goes for blue, obviously. Right, so how do you actually get to those goals? It's pretty straightforward. There's 2 things you can do. You can either move or you can push. A move is, as you would expect it, a marble that goes in any direction. A push always affects multiple marbles. That's the most satisfying part of this game board. It is really nice to push these marbles around, build these long chains, super satisfying. At some point, you will get to the point where it's not just your own marbles, but also the marbles of the opponent. And you will want to push the opponent. Well, card number 5 specifies how that works. It says you need more marbles to push the opponent. So here I have 3 marbles, the opponent has 2. So very nice, I'll push them. And then every now and then you get to a situation where you reach the end of the board, and then this yellow card, number 6, comes into play, and it says any marble that gets pushed out is out of the game. And that's it. That's the rules of the game. You don't need anything else to play. Let's pretend that we played the game a bit, you push, I push, and so on and so forth. Let's say you were really good with the pushing part and you got one of your marbles onto the blue goals. This means you win. Great. You get your first victory point, you take it off the board. And then I, as the losing player, draw 3 cards. I'm drawing them from this deck. And I got 3 movement cards. I will show them to you in detail as well, but for now I'm gonna say play this one. So this card now replaces the existing movement card in this card display here. This means for our next round and all future rounds, we play by this new rule. Everything else was the same, but there's one thing that changed, and that is I can now move up to 3 tiles in one go. This means the game has just gotten much more dynamic. There's much more sprinting, there's potentially running behind the enemy lines. It's going to be interesting. I'm just pretending that we're playing this game now. Maybe this time I win. And then what happens after that? Well, it's time for you to draw cards. So you get 3 cards. And let's say you pick this card here. This card says you need fewer or equal marbles to push the opponent. So that's the exact opposite of what we just had. Before you needed more marbles, now it's the same number or fewer. Which means what you just learned in your first game, that doesn't apply anymore. You need to think on your feet and be like, okay, how do I get fewer marbles towards the opponent to push them now? And that's a really, really interesting twist of the game rules. And you can imagine how this continues from here. We're playing up to 7 games. Every time someone wins or loses, they draw cards and they make another change. So for example, maybe a marble that gets pushed out doesn't stay out, it actually comes back to the center. There's a lot of cards in here, some of them quite crazy, some of them quite tame, so people can always choose what level of chaos they like. But yeah, that's basically it. That's Multiverse Marbles. We play our 7 rounds. And we know that every single one of these rounds will be different than the one before. And will require you to think on your feet. There is no learning of like perfect opening, because like we're never going to play the exact same game twice, so there will not be a perfect opening to know. This makes it super fun and interesting for people who already are like very good at like abstract strategy games, but it's also very accessible for people who never play anything like that because, well, they're not playing against someone who's played this game before. Okay, so one last thing. You might be wondering, how does this game work with 6 players? Well, it's pretty straightforward actually. A, we have marbles with a few more colors, and B, we just draw a different setup card. This one tells us exactly how to set up the game for 6 players, and there's many of these setup cards for all numbers of players. So here, this is what we have. As you can see, there's now 3 teams. The blue team has these 2 different flavors of marbles, and if I'm the first blue player, this means I will move these marbles. And you're the second blue player, you will move these marbles. It's the only restriction we need. Beyond that, the game just works exactly as before. We move, we push, just turn taking. There's no problem as well with pushing marbles of the same color. If we come together, we act much more as a team. And yeah, that's it. It's just take turns, player by player, team by team, push the marbles until someone gets all their marbles onto their goals. You might also notice that there's a new thing in the board right now. These setups come in many different flavors. This one adds a black hole, a field where if you get pushed onto it, this marble gets out of the game. There's also blockers, which prevent any movement or pushing from happening, and you can imagine many more of these features. So yeah, that's Multiverse Marbles. Thanks.